one day. Type C charging block. Yes. Yes, give it to me. Give me the 2-pack. They're $11. They're $11. They're so expensive everywhere else. I'm going to get 2 of them. Give them to me. Give me the chargers. Put them in me. Ooh. Oh, just load, you dirty bitch. Oh, Type C to Type C. Fast charging cable, a 4-pack. Yes, that's what I want. For the galaxies. Ooh, how long are they? Varying lengths and sizes. Oh, that's what I want to buy. I would like to buy all of them, but I would rather just buy them in one size. Give me the cables. Give me the cables. I'm making weird fucking sounds in here. I'm buying cables.
What are you doing?
I'm buying cables.
I can hear you the whole time.
So I bought a new phone, which I'm currently using now. This is the newest Samsung. It's a Galaxy S22. When I bought it straight from Samsung because I have fucking Cricket. So I just,
Yeah, no, I know how it goes.
So I just bought it straight from Samsung instead
That's
of
what you
having to
should
go through
do.
a service person.
If you have the capability,
Yeah.
buy an unlocked phone.
Yeah, that's what I did. And at checkout, they were like, hey, we can give you a charging cube. They sent me with one cable. They did not give me a cube. The cable is short as fuck. And the cubes that they didn't send
They don't
are like,
send those anymore, I think.
yeah. They were like, you can buy one. They were like fucking $30 for a fucking charging cube. I just bought 2.
Yeah, but they saved money.
I just bought 2 charging cubes.
I think you're missing
with
the point.
10-foot cables.
Do you know
for $10?
how much?
Amazon.
Fuck your problems. Do you know how much money Samsung saves when they don't send you one of those bricks?
A lot.
Yeah, because like people are like, well, how could that brick cost them like $2 to manufacture, and it's like yes, but it's $2 for millions of phone users.
American Airlines, one time, let me look up the exact number. They saved like over $1 million in a year because they took 1 olive off of their first class salads.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They're doing the thing with the phone thing. They're doing that under the guise of saving the environment. They're saying they're generating less plastic waste.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
that's so dumb.
I could believe that maybe that it saves them a shit ton of money and is good for the environment, but I cannot believe that they're just doing it for the environment because they are Samsung, a giant corporation.
If they remove,
I love Samsung's phones. They are a giant evil corporation.
the thing is, it's something like they saved like $100,000 a year because they removed 1 olive from every salad served to passengers. Or something like that. Like that's
insane.
Yeah, the numbers are all over the place here. This seems like it's kind of an apocryphal story. I see different things here from $40,000 to $100,000 to $1 million.
Almost like it was made up by an airline.
It might have been. It might have been.
That's fucking weird how they would do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, it is technically good for the environment.
Producing less shit is
what's
good for
a
the
fucking
environment.
Samsung 22?
Not drinking out of this fucking thing.
I don't know.
Styrofoam cup.
I don't see. There was a time when I used to sell those things, and I would that would mean so much to me. And I've been out of the phone game for over 5 years now. So when people tell me they got the new Samsung or the new iPhone, I'm just like, oh, does it okay?
Does it have a camera?
Cool.
It sounds real neat. Does it?
Yeah.
You got games on it?
I used to be so into smartphones and what they can do. Now it's kind of like I like that they're still getting cooler, but
Yeah.
When I was trying to sell them to people, I needed to be able to get really excited about dumb shit like calendars and memos.
Yeah. Yeah.
It turns out I was wrong all along.
Yeah, I bought it because it's got it's the newest one, so it's got a really fancy camera in it.
It looks like it has a... Mind if I look?
By all means.
It looks like it has a phenomenal camera.
Yeah, and so like that's why, because I do TikToks and stuff, and when I'm traveling, I don't want to have to lug around that camera for everything. Like I'm going to use that for a lot of stuff, but I want to be able to make do with that there. And so that's it's very vibrant. It's very vibrant.
I'm sure it's a very good
beautiful
phone. Samsung makes good products.
They're cool people.
They're
cool.
Cool people.
But that's the first time I've had a new phone since I was very young, and I got like a fucking Nokia brick prepaid from the dollar store for like $50. It came in like one of those tear apart plastic packages.
Yeah, we used to do that shit.
Yeah, man.
We used to buy our little cell phones that were like this big, and we'd throw them in the fucking... You put the SIM card in, and you have to text the line to
My first
activate
cell phone had an antenna that you could not put down. It was a hard plastic antenna.
Well, they used to pull out too.
Yeah. It didn't have one of those. It was one of the fashionable ones that had it like locked in place.
He's talking about the Nokia. It is a Nokia, and
Yeah.
got the hard plastic antenna, and the battery pack comes off.
That was my first cell phone.
Those were very like... Man, because that's kind of how they still were into the early 2000s a little bit, but the old Nokia phones in like 98, 99, 2000, 2001, those were like... That was like super hard 90s aesthetic.
Yeah.
It was because the battery pack is part of the device. It slides off.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a drill battery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like...
Back when cell phones had removable batteries.
These fuckers
That's a
know
new
about
thing.
it. They all wanted to bring the Nokia back for some reason.
Well, I guess everyone says they're indestructible and whatnot. I had that one, and then I had shortly after that, I had an AudioVox. It was a flip phone. It was like blue plasticky sides that made it look like a fucking child's toy.
Because it was for us.
Right.
I mean, any cell phone from back then compared to a cell phone from now is a child's toy.
Right. And then from there, fucking Motorola Razr. Did you ever have a Razr? I had a Razr.
No, I didn't have phones while the Razr was big for some reason. God. And when I did, I had a singular phone. It was a little one that was shaped kind of like a butt plug. Yeah.
Why would it be shaped that way? Like... angular, like it went in and then had a flange at the bottom.
Maybe more like a dildo with the butt plug bottom.
The dildo with the butt plug bottom.
It was round at the top. It was shaped like a dick. This little silver Motorola.
Oh, I know the ones you're talking about too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was that your first cell phone?
No.
What was your first cell phone like?
That might have been my first like personal cell phone. It was a singular, and I put minutes on it, and I used it to talk to a girl.
I remember singular.
I used it to talk to a girl, and she was older than me.
I remember, dude.
I had no business talking to her. She's a very nice lady.
I splurged when I was a kid because we weren't wealthy, but like we knew what shit was stupid, and so like I started getting phones. I had like the very first cell phone had minutes, and then after that, it was right when like unlimited minutes was like becoming a thing. And so we didn't have to worry about it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
God,
it was
the minutes.
We got the plan where you had unlimited text and minutes, and that was crazy. Do fucking cell phone commercials even say unlimited text and minutes anymore, or is that just a given?
No,
would it be insane if anybody didn't do that?
It's just a given at this point.
Can you imagine if there was like a T-Mobile company commercial today, like, all right, guys, we got this with like 4,000 minutes and 30 texts a month.
There are still companies that offer text by text or minute to minute plans and things like that. Like I think Track Phone still has a way to do that.
Track Phone, yeah.
And maybe Net 10 if they're still around. They might be gone, or they're none of these things are ever gone. They're just absorbed by somebody else.
Yeah.
And then so like they might, but they were the holdouts.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were the ones still doing shit like that. Like everybody else, even on prepaid, had moved over to like unlimited talk, text, and data for so and so dollars a month.
Yeah.
Data may be throttled as soon as we feel like it.
Did you ever have Solave?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
The
though.
MLM.
I used to work. Yeah, I used to work at Cricket while Solome was a thing.
Yeah.
And people would come into Cricket and try to sell me Solome, and I was like, I caught on quick because first of all I was like, hold on, I sell phones. You're in the wrong place, motherfucker. I sell the phones.
Yeah.
And then secondly, they would be like. I was just, they were like, well, you get a plan and you get some more people on a plan, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so it's like a pyramid scheme, but for cell phones? And they were like, no. Because that's how anytime you say pyramid scheme and the person telling you about the thing reacts like this, no, shh, or anything like that.
That's how you know it's legitimate.
Yeah, pursue that. No, it's fucking stupid. Yeah, I forgot that existed until you said that.
That was how I learned what a pyramid scheme was. Because I had actually gone to fucking business school by that point. And we never talked. And then they explained to me, I'm like, so because someone tried to sell it to me. I was like, so you're telling me if I get like every person on Earth to buy a cell phone plan from me, I'll make $30.
Yeah, basically.
And they're like, yeah. Oh shit, okay.
That's dumb.
Because I was into it for like, I thought about it for like 10 seconds. I was really into it, and then I thought about it a little bit, and I'm like,
Yeah, no, they've all caught on now. You don't do pyramid scheme.
It's an inverted triangle.
You do the referral. That's how you get people to bring their friends. You give them a $10 referral. People do anything for $1.
Insane.
Forrest will do literally anything for $1.
Anything. God,
don't you fucking yawn 5 minutes into this shitty ass podcast?
I just got done with I did
phones.
Truth Wanted today. I just got done doing that. Go watch that if you want to go watch that. It's a live call-in show from the atheist community of Austin.
Oh, and, how was that?
It was awesome.
Was it exciting?
It was awesome. They're great people there. They're really, really
That's
nice.
cool. Where do they watch that? How do they watch that?
Go to the YouTubes and just look up Truth Wanted.
So they don't have to watch it live.
It's streamed live, and now
archived.
it isn't anymore. And so we took I think only 4 or 5 calls. It's only about a 90-minute show.
That's cool. You should check it out. Say it one more.
Truth Wanted. You can also fucking. I'll wait. I'll save announcements for later because I'm doing.
Fuck you, Forrest. You're famous. You piece of shit.
I got some fucking exciting shit happening this year that I'm excited to tell people about.
You're a great guy.
But I can't. Oh,
you're great. He's worked for years.
I'm fucking tired. I'm really, really
very tired, and he's got so much work to do.
Dude, I wrote the fucking. I've been talking about doing the thing about doing a little series on how evolution works.
Yeah.
I had planned out 8 episodes, and I started writing them, and as I wrote them, I consolidated them. So I ended up writing 4 episodes, and each episode is about 10 pages long, so it should be about a 20-minute long video. Dude, if I worked half as hard on my fucking thesis as I did on that show, I'd be done.
Keep saying that on the podcast for us.
That I need to work as hard at grad school as I do on XYZ other thing.
Yeah.
It's true, though.
You keep bringing that up, though.
It's because I'm not working hard.
You got to stop feeling bad. I think you're working very hard because you do too many things.
I have really bad seasonal depression. And
'tis the season for depression.
Yeah, right now it's been snowing a lot.
It's tax season.
Yeah. It's really icy and snowy and shitty outside, and
I wouldn't mind that if I wasn't forced to fucking leave my house.
It does shit to me, man. I've had a hard time past couple of days
from the weather.
From the depression because of the weather.
But the weather makes you depressed.
Yeah, whenever it's cold outside, I just feel like poop.
That sucks. When it's cold outside, I feel great, but I don't. But when it's frozen like that, I don't want to go anywhere.
Right. It's especially. It's just a winter thing. Whenever it's winter outside, I don't feel very good, and especially right now, I am significantly overwhelmed, and I'm having to put things on the back burner. Like I said, I wrote that whole damn series, and you commented on the tape markers all over the floor. That's because I had this studio perfectly set up to start recording. I had my friend who does professional lighting and film stuff come over and set everything up with me, and I recorded the first episode. It took me a whole damn day to do it instead of the 10 minutes it should have taken, and I just wasn't happy with it, and I tried to record the second episode 4 times and just couldn't make myself smile enough to do it, and just felt bad about how bad I felt, and felt bad about how much I wasn't working, and then I didn't work because I felt too bad. And then I'd be like, I'm just going to go play fucking video games for like 10 minutes and just try to clear my head.
Oh, good.
And then I just sit there in my own misery, just killing zombies, just hating myself. It's awful.
A Dying Light.
Yeah, Dying Light. So that's where I've been for the past several days. I haven't produced anything. I haven't worked on my homework. I haven't worked on videos. I haven't produced any good TikToks.
If it makes you feel better.
Because I've been sitting there thinking about how much I need to do all those things.
For another thing I'm doing with a friend, we're supposed to be starting looking at some things and working on video essays and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, like, all I'm really supposed to do right now for that is play a game from my childhood and take notes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's all I have to do. So instead, I needed to spend some time with my daughter, so she got me to play No Man's Sky with her, right? She wanted me to play with her, so I was like, okay, I'll play No Man's Sky with you. So I played No Man's Sky with her for a little while, and then she went to bed. Good kid. And I stayed on No Man's Sky until like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Hopping from planet to planet.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's that great of a game, but like, it just fucking gets me.
Yeah, dude.
It gets me in my ADHDs.
Yeah.
Because, or whatever I have going on. I don't know what my problems are. There are many and they're undiagnosed. But like,
Likewise.
But yeah, but like, so anyway, like, the main point was like, it's, and I don't want to say that it was time wasted because there was some therapeutic value there. Like afterwards, I felt really good. I was like, that was fun. I had a good time. I enjoyed myself, but I didn't do anything I needed to be doing.
Yeah.
Like,
that feels bad.
Unless we put like some of the stuff like in No Man's Sky into the need category, and I just can't do that.
Yep.
Like, so.
Yep. No, I know exactly.
I can't do that.
I know exactly.
Like I love accomplishing things in video games, but I never really let it feel like too much of accomplishment because I know it is simulation.
It is a video game.
I don't want to trick myself into thinking I'm doing stuff when I'm not. So there's that aspect to it. But yeah, like I wasted a whole fucking like night, and I had already set aside and made time to do that, and I don't regret playing the game with my kid.
Yeah.
Because she's been dying to spend time with me, and she's also been getting into the game. So
right. Yeah.
So it was like this thing. I was like, yeah, I want to do this. I like the game that much. I want to play. Yeah,
of course.
And fucking who doesn't want to play No Man's Sky with their kids? You fly around, land on planets.
I gotta look up this game. I keep hearing good things about it.
It's not bad. It had a long trial and tribulation period where it came out completely unfinished.
I forgot to flip the.
I can't see it.
I have no idea.
But it's fine. The game is fine. But anyway, so like I just wasted all that time.
Yeah.
Just wasted it. And now, because I wasted that time, now every time I think about what I need to be doing, I just think about how I keep wasting time until it's bedtime.
Yeah.
And so it's been a couple days now, and I haven't done anything.
Boy, do I feel
I sent him a message. I let him know, hey, this is what's been going on. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'm dealing with the same type of shit. So we're all dysfunctional, and it's fine. We're still going to find a way to make content.
Yep.
But, like, that's the thing. It's like that. It's just sometimes you just waste a bunch of time. And I would say with you, as your friend, as somebody who's known you a very long time, the amount of time that you do waste compared to the amount of time that you use very well and very carefully is so minuscule that I don't think you should worry about it. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
I haven't done dick for like a week.
I'm talking.
Dude.
You've been doing things. You haven't done school shit. Is that what the problem is?
Yes.
You're avoiding the thing you know you need to do because you know you're going to do it at the last minute anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, the only thing I can say about that is how about you just stop?
How
about you just stop?
Just cheer up. What's so
how
hard
about you
about
just
that?
cheer up, man?
Oh man. But yeah, no, it's been.
You're acting like somebody potentially set off World War III.
Oh my god.
Circle back.
We'll
circle back.
Yeah.
I know. I just don't want to see you beat yourself up too much, because I'll do it.
You'll beat me up for me?
I'll beat you up, you fucking loser.
Thanks, bro.
People are always telling me to respect Forrest. Like I'm going to do that.
No.
Like I'm going to do that.
No.
If I made it this far into the friendship without respecting Forrest.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I think people misinterpret our friendship sometimes.
It's a singular dynamic.
They're like Ben hates Forrest. It's like, no, I'm just used to him. Very, very used to him. He sees the real Ben.
We've been friends for like almost 20 years, man. We know each other inside and out.
Ugh. Ain't that the truth?
I wish it were literally.
Stop, man.
Now you have to decide whether I want to fuck you or dissect you. Could be both. You have to decide how far you're going to go in either of those directions.
You have to decide how far you're going to go in either of those directions. That's what you have to decide. I don't have to decide shit. You're driving this car, truck, train. You're on this motorboat.
A motorboat, them cheeks. For real though, fucking
Christ.
what's going on in the world fucking sucks.
We could do a quick cap.
scary,
I think we
man.
should at least address the elephant in the room,
Ukraine.
so to speak, in the Ukraine.
The elephant in Ukraine.
I don't know a fuck ton about what's going on, but like I was saying earlier, we were talking privately. that they love shit like that. Anyway,
Just weird staring at the camera. Everyone's into it.
we were talking about that documentary, Winter on Fire.
Yeah.
And okay, so I'm going to preface this with, when I watched it, it was pretty hot off the events actually happening in Ukraine, the invasion of Crimea in 2000 whatever. That's how little I remember this shit.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
But I was watching the news, and then that documentary, I found it about a few months after I was watching the news, came out, and I watched that documentary. And it's this beautiful story. It's very sad and troubling, but it's about the people fighting back, pushing back against the so-called Russian, pro-Russian separatists and
Separatists,
shit
that's what it was, yeah.
in the Ukraine. I don't remember if we ever found out like whether or not they were just Russians or not. It seemed like they were just people, like
Just some Russians.
yeah. And now it's even further that when we look at the events of the past couple of days, you can say that was very much I think, and I'm definitely an armchair expert here, but I think that you could say that was like a soft invasion.
Like phase one. Kind
That
of
was like a practice run, right? It was like a dry run.
testing, putting
I
your toe in
think-
the invasion war.
I think this time is different. I think they're going in really, and I think they're going to really push and try to take the whole thing,
Yeah.
and it's going to be pretty bad. I mean, you can say what you want about whether or not there's pro-Russian separatists there. I know that there are two independent republics, pro-Russian republics, I think, in the eastern Ukraine.
So yeah, that's what Russia's saying now. Is they're calling these places independent.
So were they not claiming themselves to be independent before now?
I'm not entirely sure if the people there actually are claiming themselves
Because
to be
there
independent of
are
Ukraine or not.
pro-Russian populations in the Ukraine.
Yes, for sure, always.
The majority of Ukrainians want to be independent,
Yeah.
at minimum.
Yeah.
Right? Like they just want to, at the very least, they want to be an independent state. They don't want to be run by anybody else. And then on the high end, they want to join NATO. I think it's like, which to be like honest, I don't see how that can happen without any fucking major conflict coming from somewhere.
Well,
Because why would Russia let a country on their doorstep join NATO like that without some kind of show of force?
Putin actually even said, like,
Again, not experts.
right? Putin publicly said, like, he was doing a press conference, and he just fucking said, "We're gonna do this, and if anybody wants to try to stop us, any country at all, I'd like to remind you that we have the most nuclear weapons in the entire world," and that's just how it is. And that was his whole thing. He never said, "I'll kill everybody," but he made it very clear, just so you know, we have a lot of nukes. We are now going to invade Ukraine. Don't stop us. And so far, the whole world has been like, "Hey,
Don't
we're gonna
do
attack.
that.
We're gonna tax your stuff.
Better
We're gonna
not.
tax your stuff. We're gonna put some sanctions on you." And like me,
That's like
I-
the only thing the civilized world has.
I'm not pro-war in any sense of the word. I think war is a horrible, horrible thing. I'm not. I think it should be more than a last resort. But I also, you know what? This is actually a good time for an ad break because the camera just died, and we could do an ad thing.
This is a horrible time for an ad break.
Let me finish this sentence. I just noticed that it did that. We tried to do it last time, and it seemed to work out. So I'm very anti-war. However, I am also very anti-bully, and I think that if America had any balls at all, we would be like, hey, I don't care if they're not in NATO. I don't care if they didn't pay the dues at the lodge this fucking month. Those are innocent people, and we see you invading and hurting innocent people. You're gonna stop. And like that, you know what I mean? But again, just like with Korea, just like with China, just like with everything else, there's no oil in Ukraine, so we're gonna have to let these horrible human rights violations continue, and we'll just you know what? We're going to keep putting sanctions. We're going to make sure these people pay some money, and then they won't have all as much money. They'll have a whole ass other country
It's
now.
like the sanctions are just like the fee you pay to be violent
a dictator
to other nations.
Yeah. You just pay. It's like a fucking indulgence from the Catholic Church, where it's like,
Holy shit!
You know what I'm talking about?
Fix the camera.
Okay, yeah. With that, the ad break is happening now,
and then we're gonna explain it.
And then we'll talk about stuff. Yeah, there's ad break. Go
is
ad break.
Probably when the ad break will happen.
If you're not on YouTube, you won't notice the ad break. But for those who are on YouTube, thank you for sitting through this ad break and earning us 15 cents.
If you're on YouTube, yay. If you're not on YouTube, you can't see this. Nobody can see that.
Nobody can see ads. The camera still isn't done.
Fuck. Did we swear 27 times in the first 50 seconds again?
You know we did. Is that on?
It's on.
Hey.
Is the level?
Yes, actually. It's quite nice. Yeah, so, but yeah, that's what we're saying is that it's like what do you call it? Indulgences.
Yeah,
Catholic Church.
So the Catholic Church, explain indulgences real quick and how they work.
So back in the day,
especially in the plague era, this shit got ridiculous.
Yep. So back in the day, in the Catholic Church, in Catholicism, you were supposed to be pious and you were supposed to not, don't be gluttonous, don't be greedy and everything. But you could pay an indulgence, which is where you paid a fee to the church to go be an asshole. And you could remarry, and you could have go fucking
kill a guy,
kill a dude. You could go visit the whorehouse. You could go do whatever you want. You just paid a little money to the church, and that got you good with God again. And you didn't have to confess, and you didn't have to pray, and you didn't have to change your life at all. You just paid a little indulgence, and so you could be living a lavish lifestyle based on these indulgences.
Guess who used indulgences more than anybody?
Rich fucking people in charge, and also priests.
Yeah, the Pope.
Yeah. And so, now, that's exactly what this is sanctions, is that we have a declaration, a universal declaration of human rights, and we have the United Nations. We're going to make sure that the whole world obeys these basic human rights. There won't be slavery, and there won't be genocide, and there won't be rape as a weapon, and there won't be all these different things. Unless, we'll sanction you if you do those things, and then you have to just cost you money. And it's like, what? It's not like we're fining them. They just have problems with their trade now. You don't get to what?
I stepped in gum.
Gross.
Yeah, I found it on my shoe.
Oh, it's
They're going to see that shit.
Yeah. Sanctions. Sanction that gum. But it's okay now.
Sucks.
Now it's going to cost you. You're not going to get as much money when you trade with us.
It is indulgences.
We will still buy your things.
Yeah.
We'll still fucking coordinate with you.
Tariff.
Yeah, it's just a little tariff in there.
Or we're not going to stop you from invading a sovereign nation.
Yeah.
It's pretty shitty.
And so,
there's absolutely nothing we can do about it.
I don't pretend to be any kind of an expert on international relations or big politics, but I do say that I have fucking moral compass. And that's one of the reasons why I don't think I'll ever be in charge of anything. Because if I was running this country, day fucking one, we'd be fucking invading North Korea. And, actually doing that whole liberating oppressed peoples thing.
It'd be nuts. People would be so liberated their heads would spin off.
And of course, it's not as easy as that. I recognize. I want to put a caveat on there. I realize that it's not as easy as just, we'll go in with gun, and then they will be free. I get that's not how that works.
Maybe, but also, I don't know if we've tried it like that. I don't know if we've tried it straight, bald-faced, go in with gun, make freedom. I don't think we've sent people over there just so fucking hard for freedom that they're like, are you oppressing these people? Oh, I don't like that. They just freak out.
Freedom is the only choice.
Shoot all the dictators and not a single innocent person is harmed because our dudes are just so jacked up on freedom. It's impossible for them to harm an individual that deserves freedom.
Death is a preferable outcome than communism.
Alternative,
that's what it is.
Death is a preferable alternative to communism.
Oh, it's so stupid. But yeah, man, it's tough. It's really, really tough. And like,
and there's stuff too. Like another thing that I want to talk about, like, because we touched on it for a second. I don't want to spend the whole rest of the episode talking about Ukraine, but like what you got to remember, because it is easy. We were discussing this before the show, and I'll say it now. Like, it's very easy. I'm doing it. I have to an extent. I'm not thinking about it. Right? I brought it up for this podcast because this is one of the only places where I talk about current events openly, a little bit. And so, like, I think it's fair for us to discuss it here, but I don't want to dwell on it for too long because it will destroy my mental stability. Because I, like you, do not like war. And then at the same time, you've got this whole thing with, like, the people living there. They're just fucking people. And one of the stories that I read today was, like, from a small studio, like a game development studio. And they're just, like, trying to survive this thing so that hopefully when it's over, they can just make art again.
Yeah.
And that's what fucking war does.
Yeah.
It just destroys everything good.
Yeah.
Just everything that's kind of okay about the world that you might like even a tiny bit. War will take that from you.
Yep.
So as much as I do want us to do something and help them, I understand the apprehension from anybody when it comes to war.
Yeah, no, that's
declaring war or doing military action.
That's what I'm saying. Like, violence fucking sucks. It
and
really
it
does.
won't do it. The thing with war too is that the first bit of it isn't going to make anybody feel any better for a long time.
Yep. I think anybody who's all gung-ho about getting into conflict and anybody who's like, if you blah blah do, I'll kick your ass. That's a problem. That they're not thinking clearly. But I also think that with great power comes great responsibility.
It's
and
people
when
dying.
We have the biggest military in the world by a lot. Like, okay, I hate that we have that, but if we have that, we need to be responsible with it, and we need to be able to say, like, all right, this is what we stand for. This is what we're. I'm not saying we need to be the world police. I get that ethnocentrism is wrong, but when you see literal concentration camps, when you see, you know, just the overthrow of a peaceful nation, when you see all these things, you should have the cojones to step in and be like, hey, like, we're not going to do that here.
He's been slow. Putin, the Kremlin, all that shit. They've slowly been building back up to what it used to be.
Yeah.
And they're kind of there now. And that's what's terrifying about it.
I also think anybody, it's the same way when Christopher Hitchens talked about Saddam Hussein, he said the same thing that I'm about to say, which is that if anybody is just like, yeah, I get like Putin's a bad guy, but like, you know, they don't know what the fuck they're talking. They don't realize just how fucking sick and twisted this fucking place is. And like, I remember when fucking those journalists were poisoned. And I remember when those dignitaries
wasn't that
were
long
killed.
ago.
Exactly. I remember all the other horrible shit just in recent history that I remember them interfering with our election and fucking and every single time there's like, yeah, we did that. Yeah. Do something about it. And America was like, shouldn't have done that. Anyway, and we just carried on business as usual.
I like that they came out and said that they did do it and half the country still thinks they didn't.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm not out here trying to say that they like forced the election, but to act like they had no influence by fucking up the internet and making everything look so crazy.
Yep.
And releasing all those different stories and
that's
the fake leaks and the real leaks and the other fake real leaks.
Yeah. That's what gets me is how well it worked. That's what's scary about it.
Because they've nailed that, man. They've got that down. They have that kind of warfare down.
They're great at propaganda. And if you post a lot of bullshit online, people will believe it. And eventually you'll have these crazy fucking subsects of people like QAnon that like they're just fucking their whole thing is just to be as ridiculous and crazy as fucking possible. And people believe them. And then while we're sitting here arguing over whether we landed on the moon and whether JFK's coming back because Trump's the secret president, while we're arguing over that, Russia is just fucking being in reality with gun. Like, that sucks. Did you fucking hear Tucker Carlson's dumb, slimy bitch ass talking about how Vladimir Putin isn't that bad?
No, but they do this all the time, and I don't know why. I don't know why anybody would say, like, he's not that bad.
Yeah, no, he fucking said... I will look up the clip to find his
That's
actual
like
words.
what you say about American presidents, right? Like, they're not that bad.
Right.
That's not what you say about Putin. Come on.
He is that.
It's because of those pictures of him with the shirt off. They're still fucking rock hard for that.
Yeah.
There is something to be said about the culture of, because if you look at Russia, I think Russia's a very like I think Russian culture and American culture share a ton. I think that's part of the problem. The other part of the problem, I think, is that we've kind of drifted away from that in a lot of respects, and so like that machismo culture really appeals to a certain portion of the American public.
Yep.
And while it's tough because personally, I don't think that culture in and of itself is bad. I think we just need to get rid of the toxic aspects of it. Mm-hmm. For instance, thinking that every like man needs to be a certain way, or even we can go further and say that any kind of person needs to be any kind of way.
Yep.
Because that's really just not how it is. And I think they admire that the Russians keep that.
Yep. So this is. I'm just going to read this directly. This is just a couple of paragraphs. This is a long opinion piece that I'm not going to make our audience suffer through, but like you should look this up. This is by Tucker Carlson. This is an opinion piece published on FoxNews.com called "Americans Have Been Trained to Hate Putin and Will Suffer Because of It." That's the title of this piece, and the subtitle is "Even Biden admitted that energy prices are about to go up." So that's the trick here. He can't say Vladimir Putin's a good guy, but of course we're going to say, yeah, I know he did all these evil things, but gas prices, so that we can put another one of those dumbass Biden I did that sticker on the gas pump. So this is the first couple of paragraphs of this. I'm just going to read it verbatim. Since the day that Donald Trump became president, Democrats in Washington have told you it's your patriotic duty to hate Vladimir Putin. It's not a suggestion.
That's not true.
It's a mandate. Anything less than hatred for Putin is treason. Many Americans have obeyed this directive and now dutifully hate Vladimir Putin. Maybe you're one of them. Hating Putin has become the central purpose of Americans' foreign policy. It's the main thing that we talk about. Every cable channel entire cable channels are now devoted to it.
Is he just talking about the last couple of days, Forrest?
It gets better. Very soon, that hatred of Vladimir Putin could bring the United States into conflict in Eastern Europe. This is the best. This is the most important part. Before that happens, it might be worth asking yourself, since this is about to get pretty seriously, what is this really about? Why do I hate Putin so much? Has Putin ever called me a racist? Has he threatened to get me fired for disagreeing with him? Has he shipped every middle-class job in my town to Russia? Did he manufacture a worldwide pandemic that has wrecked my business and kept me indoors for 2 years?
Come on!
Is he teaching my children to embrace racial discrimination? Is he making fentanyl? Is he trying to snuff out Christianity? Does he eat dogs? These are fair questions, and the answer to all of them is no. Vladimir Putin didn't do any of that, so why does Washington hate him so much? So, just to recap, okay? Look at all the fucking buzzwords he lumped in there. Snuffing out Christianity, eating dogs, that's just straight fucking racism. Manufacturing a pandemic, teaching children about racial discrimination, trying to bring in CRT. Has he ever called me a racist? That's a big thing on Tucker Carlson. What is white supremacy really? When you call me a white supremacist, what does that even mean? Who's racist here? I'm just saying that black people are terrible. Who's racist here? And so all of this is just every fucking crazy white supremacist conspiracy theory bullshit talking point that he could cram into this thing and see, fucking Vladimir Putin never did any of this. Hitler never did any of that. And fucking Ted Bundy never did any of that. So I guess they weren't so bad either, huh? Like, what is that what is that? And then also, notice the way that he words this.
That is the logic, though.
Notice the way he words this when he says that Washington is telling you have to hate Vladimir Putin. It's a mandate. Why use the word mandate in today's exact political climate right now, unless you want people to hate that idea? And then, many Americans dutifully obeyed this directive, and maybe you're one of them. And every fucking red hat wearing backwards ass dip spitting piece of shit, I don't obey no orders from the government, no mandates are evil, and I don't eat dogs like those fucking people from the east, and I don't, the pandemic and the race theory and
those
the blah,
people from the east
and the fucking I ain't no racist. I just hate Black Lives Matter.
Forrest is caricature gesture you're doing is highly offensive to
And
rural
fucking
people.
but that's exactly the fucking person. That is what this is written for. Is to spark up that kind of dumb ass hatred, and then these people
I
are like,
understand that.
yeah, and then everyone's on Team Russia all of a sudden, and like, well, fucking, what did the Ukraine do to get invaded? You know what I mean? I hear they had a gun. Like,
That's
so
weird.
that's the shit that's going on, and it's fucking gross. And yeah, just
How far up Tucker Carlson's ass do you think Putin's hand is?
man,
Because that's pretty fucking nuts.
it doesn't.
That's pretty nuts, psycho.
It doesn't have to be, because that's just how fucking awful Tucker Carlson is.
How can you be so patriotic that you're the most unpatriotic piece of shit I've ever heard about in my life? Don't give me this shit. There's no way he gives a shit about America, and if you think he does, it's dumb. Because nobody who cares about this country should love any other country's leaders that much.
What gets me, and this is actually something that I
It's
just...
so weird.
This is something that I just talked
You
about
don't
today.
think it's weird?
Right, well, did you hear of Trump? On stage, Trump had I don't know what it was at, some gala fundraiser or something, and he's up there saying, like, I'll tell you what, Putin's a smart man. He's a smart man. He gets a whole country for just a few $100s in sanctions. And he's a great leader. He's a great man. I knew him very well. I think he's one. And the people in the crowd are even like, do we, what? And they're just, but they're fucking in the cult, so they have to support him.
It's almost like we're fucked. It's almost like Trump sold everything to Russia or something. And
Oh, yeah.
like,
It's just
and we have to write it out for 20 years now.
It's embarrassing, dude.
It's weird. The whole thing is weird. I need to see that clip and see if these people are actually doing that or if they're all happy.
Well, no, because the newest thing now is that everyone's saying, well, that was clearly sarcasm. It was clearly, it was all just tongue in cheek. It was a funny speech. And that's going through the usual thing. He didn't say that.
It would be funny if like Lewis Black or like
exactly,
somebody like a stand-up comedian got on stage and made those kinds of jokes. That would be kind of like, I see what you did there.
Yeah, no, Putin is fucking a piece of shit.
Oh man,
right?
what a brilliant piece of shit. Oh man,
everything sucks.
Because then you could say the joke is how technically the joke should be if you're. God damn it.
That the response sucks.
Yeah, if you're making a joke about this, the punchline should be that the response is weak.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what that joke is.
Yeah.
But that's not, if that's what he said, that's not the way he would be saying.
But this is the same fucking thing that we've heard from Trump supporters this whole time, is he didn't say that. Yes, he did say that. Okay, well, he didn't mean it. He did mean it. Well, you're taking it out of context. He didn't mean it that way. Actually, he very clearly did.
The Trump thing,
then Democrats have said worse.
How long do you think this can continue?
The Trump cult?
Yeah.
Indefinitely. That's how cults work.
Can't do it indefinitely. He's going to die someday, and these people aren't. I don't think they're going to be the kind of cult that, like, survives after the death of the leader. They're not Scientology. Trump is not an L. Ron Hubbard.
That's
sorry.
true. That's true.
Some people know how to get things done in this country.
Some poor cunt out there with a fucking Trump University.
L. Ron Hubbard did it.
Fucking book.
LRH.
Did I tell you I had a Trump University book when I was a kid?
No.
So I did business school for a little while, and I got all sorts of certifications in marketing and business and entrepreneurship.
I knew about the business school.
Well, after I left business school, Donald Trump was still just the icon of what it means to be rich, because nobody knew what a piece of shit he was publicly like that. Well, there was a lot, but like...
you know what? I'm going to say,
anything.
people might have actually known him. It might have just been a different time.
Yeah. Well, it's that he was still a celebrity is all.
Yeah,
and so I only knew him
we still
for...
allowed people to get away with more shit back then.
But
you didn't have internet, so...
Yeah, but I bought a Trump University Marketing 101 book because I had just gotten out of school for marketing. And I was like, this I can learn from the guy himself. First of all, it wasn't written by Trump. Second of all, it was the most fucking basic-ass, boring piece of shit pamphlet of a book that I've ever read. And I thought that at the time. I remember I was like fucking 17 or 18 years old reading this, and I was like just
shit
completely
is
blown
weak.
away by how fucking just weak sauce that book was. I was like, this is fucking terrible. What? How is he selling this? I didn't put it together. He's a fucking con man. That's all it
You
is.
had already read books like fucking like How to Win Friends or whatever.
Yeah, and the Ultimate Sales Machine and all those other
like,
ones.
So
yeah.
all of those are pretty solid.
Yeah.
So like that, you know.
The Trump University book is like, the key to being rich is to make money. And I'm like, oh,
I've been doing it all wrong.
who'd have thought?
First, you get a small loan.
It's a small $1 million loan from your parents. You never have to pay it back because they're your parents. It's, oh man.
It sucks too because I don't like to demonize people who like whose parents gave them money, but at the same time,
if your parents gave you money, cool. Just don't act like you're fucking cool because of it, like you earned
Yeah.
it. It's like that. Did you ever see? This nameless smear of a person. It was when one of the Pauls, which Jake or Logan, it doesn't matter, they're interchangeable. When one of the Pauls had his whole team.
You're so mean to those boys.
They're fucking terrible people. But like they
They
had their
have
whole
brain damage for us.
their whole team of influencers, and they did live shows. I remember because Drew Gooden did a video about it. He went to the live show and actually saw it. It was awful. And they had this guy up there singing this rap song about how he's been rich since he was 4 years old. And it's like, how is that a flex? How are you up here like, yeah, I was rich at 4. What did you do at 4 to earn that money?
What did you do?
What did you... Nothing. His parents were rich as fuck, and they bought him an internet career. And then he got up there and danced around like an asshole with Jake Ogan, Lake Paul, and Jogan Paul, and
so mean to them boys.
and then he made a bunch of money, and now he's as unremarkable as the rest of the people that were with him. And so like it just, man, I don't know. I'm just not. It's
That's
weird.
crazy.
That's
Fuck
weird.
the shit. But yeah, so that whole situation sucks, and that's all we can say.
The Ukraine hole.
The Ukraine hole. Do you in the '90s? Did they? Was it Czechoslovakia?
Czechoslovakia is a completely different country.
I'm saying, did they have anything to do with that though?
With Ukraine?
Was Russia involved?
With Czechoslovakia or what?
Yes.
What are you asking me?
Did they invade the Czech Republic, or was that something else entirely?
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not good at.
We're gonna have to research it.
I'm okay with geography, but history is not.
Damn, I'll have to look into it.
Especially on world events like that.
Well, because the Czech Republic fell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who knocked it down?
Bet it was Russia.
I don't know. I know about it, but I don't know about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's tough because like that's those kinds of like I said, international relations is not my strong suit.
Well, and I used to know a lot more about this Ukraine thing, but that was back whenever I was trying to become a journalist, and I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I know enough about the situation over there to know how little I know about the situation over there.
What I know is that people are being hurt.
Yeah.
And it sucks ass. And
yeah.
I wish that this is one of those rare instances where I wish our country would bare its teeth a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I feel. It's like we have done insane things for way stupider, more minor reasons. Like, it would be cool if we actually acted a little bit like the fucking great nation that we try to convince everybody that we are.
You think Putin would nuke us?
No, I think we have mutually assured destruction on our side.
I hope he doesn't see this. And he's like that little piece of shit. He just pushes the button.
I'll show you what I can do.
Just wait. He subscribes first.
Thanks, Putin. Smash that.
You know what? I think Trucker Barlson might be right.
If you're a fascist dictator, smash that subscribe button.
If you could actually make your entire country subscribe.
You could if you're a fascist dictator.
Like
force your entire country to subscribe to the podcast.
God damn, that would be amazing.
People love the show.
People
have no choice but to love the show.
We take a tour to North Korea.
Loving the show is a one-party issue. Do you love the show? Yes or yes?
Did you see? I read a news article about.
That's kind of like watched.
I used my.
You watched the words.
It was a news article about Elon Musk and about Mars, whatever. What are they calling it? Mars One?
I don't know.
It's a stupid whatever. He's just Mars City.
I don't keep up with Elon
They're
Musk.
calling it Mars City so far.
Is he trying to build a city on Mars?
They
what
need
you're
to
telling me?
better it. He's going to do it.
Ugh.
I'm not saying it's going to work, but there will be a city there. Here's the thing. So what they're going to do, they've started off. So people will be, right now the plan is that people are going to be allowed to say, I want to go live on Mars. And then they will be able to work there in exchange for their trip. So it's indentured servitude. Right off the bat.
It's fucking Outer Worlds.
It's Outer Worlds levels of indentured servitude. And then one of the first things he said was there will be, and keep this in mind, I think a lot of Musk's ideas are ridiculous. I think there's a huge disconnect between people who support Musk and reality.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's personally I don't think he's like evil, but he has a lot of ability to do things and he's not doing them.
Yep.
So there's that.
You cannot be a good person and be a billionaire.
Yeah. So I don't it's tough because whenever I look at his shit, it looks like he genuinely wants to get off Earth for the same reasons I do. But because he has the ability to do so,
Yeah.
it makes it wishy-washy.
I don't think he wants to do it for the same reasons you do. I think he wants to get off Earth so that he can bring capitalism to other planets.
Yeah, I want to do that too, though.
So
Listen, you don't understand. The weak and the poor must be exploited and ground into dust. And we take that dust and we snort it. And that's what will give us eternal life.
Spice must flow.
The spice must flow, Forrest. So, I don't know. It's just, I feel like if I had been raised like him, I'd be doing the same shit. That aside,
That's tough to grapple with.
it's indentured servitude.
Yeah.
There's no way around that. You're paying for a trip to another planet off world where you will be required to work to pay for the money that was used to get you there, unless you just provide your own money somehow, I guess.
Right.
And I don't know if that's an option right now. And then one of the first things it said was he said about it was that there will be a lot of jobs. Job shortages will be a pretty big problem for the first 10 years or so. And I was like, I couldn't tell if he was saying this in the way he says stuff, because I don't think he's a normal human. He talks about it like I don't think he even understands what it is to be a human sometimes, which is fine. I don't either. He says like it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But like it's a good thing. Like there's going to be jobs. But it's like, yeah, but there's going to be a labor shortage because there's not going to be enough people, which is to be expected when you're moving to a new planet and you're colonizing it. But it's colonization.
Yeah.
And like we can argue all day about whether or not colonization is like a good or a bad term.
If you're colonizing a barren planet,
the point I want to get across is that minimum colonization is very nasty.
Yeah.
It is very dirty work. It is very deadly. It is horrible.
Yeah.
Even if we went into it with completely altruistic intentions and did it like a really well way where it's like fair.
Yeah. And
like people are choosing to do these dangerous things and they're not being forced into it because like, oh, now I've signed the papers and I'm on the ship. It's like it really is like an exploratory effort with the end goal of making a new place for humans to live.
Yeah.
So that when this place gets wiped out, we're not gone forever and we can continue to propagate.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're trying to do. And because this planet will go away. So we need to get on as many other planets as possible.
Yep.
But like, it's fucked up. And that's if we go into it with the best intentions, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
And we're going into it with these intentions.
Yeah.
Lots of people are going to die.
I would like to remove the yoke of capitalism from around the neck of the people, and so that we can colonize a planet as a free nation. So this is priorities is all the whole thing.
People are always going to be a little bit unfree, Forrest. You got to figure out a way to make it so that doesn't hurt so much.
Yeah.
Because in order to have a huge society, especially one that can terraform and create places to live in the stars, you need more than freedom. You need a lot of order.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people don't just order themselves. So like I think there's a thing here where it's like, yeah, like you can I want to go to space too. I don't know how we get there without some of this horrible shit.
Yeah.
That is still haunting us from the past. I don't know how. And maybe that's a failure of my own brain because this is the world I live in. or maybe it's more complicated than that. I
Right.
don't know. Like it sucks because I want to say like, no, we just need to find a way to make sure that we like it, because really we can. We're smart enough to take care of everybody and feed everybody and work on these massive undertakings and build cities that are self-sustaining and terraform our own planet and make it better so that we don't fuck it up. We can do these things.
Yeah.
We have everything we've ever needed to accomplish insane, like almost magical shit with our brains. But I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know how we're going to do it.
Yeah, dude.
You think about Star Trek and like their biggest thing is they love to talk about how altruistic and humanitarian the society is and stuff. Yeah. And it is beautiful. Like Earth in Star Trek is like this beautiful society where people like are taken care of. And our biggest thing with like you have the ships in Star Trek, they're not really for war. They have that capability, but they're all exploratory vessels. They're really just supposed to go find shit.
Yeah.
And stuff. But like even in that show, there's constant battle, there's constant fights and shit. And like they kind of put humanity on this pedestal, but humanity's government in that show is corrupt and evil because we write from experience.
Yeah.
And so even that shit gets fucked up and twisted. So even though it's like this really beautiful world, it's still got this undercurrent of corruption.
Yeah.
And of course that's fucking fiction and it's written by a dude like me, but like, is that just humans?
Yeah, are humans just shitty?
Are we just shit?
I don't think we need to be.
I don't think we need to be either. I just don't know how we make that leap to a much better society.
Education.
Yeah.
Education is elevation.
But who's in charge of education?
That's the problem. There's actually we should probably
we should wrap it up.
I think the camera just died again. But like interesting thing to think about. There was I think it's called College Behind Bars. It's a documentary on Netflix that Amber was watching recently. She's telling me about it. I haven't seen the documentary. I know what they're talking about though. I've read about this. I'm just referencing the documentary because it's on my mind. Is people in prison going to college? It's they're bringing college professors in. These people in prison can earn their GAD, earn their bachelor's degree. You know what I mean? And they work so hard, and they're like beating Harvard debate teams. Like and shit like that because they were working so hard because they know they could lose this at any minute. And what they keep saying, what the prisoners keep saying over and over is like, I am thinking in new ways. Like I'm thinking new thoughts. I'm not like limited in the way that I have new words for how I feel and for what I'm thinking. I don't have as many like dumb ideas. I'm actually able to like hash things out and like really consider consequences of my actions, and like they are talking about how it's literally just changing their entire fucking lives. And that's the power of fucking education, man. Education is elevation. It makes you it makes you a better person. And so like that's what I'm saying is like I don't think humans need to be shitty. I think that if they were educated more, if we brought everybody up to at least like, an 8th grade, 9th grade education, we would solve a lot of issues of poverty. If we brought people up to like a high school, college, or early college education, we would solve a lot of issues of inequality and of political, problems. If we brought everybody up to a bachelor's
that's
level
kind of
education.
confusing though, because we have like most people, like a lot of people graduate high school.
No, yeah. Yeah.
And then they stay in poverty.
Yeah, because like we have a lot of shit that's like focused on state testing and just pushing people through and getting numbers rather than education.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll continue on that later on because that's a very, very big topic that I would love to dig into. And holy fuck, we're already running over time. But thank you so much for tuning in to this week. You can't see us.
Always a pleasure.
But we can fucking see you.
Oh, I made a Twitter.
Oh, yeah?
For the show.
Oh, it's for the show?
Yeah, if they want to, if you guys want to send me anything related to the show, this specific show.
Is it called the show?
It's fuck. I'm trying to remember. It's at Ben's Not Comfortable.
Make it like at people love the show.
I should have.
People who love the show.
No,
if we ever do like a Discord,
it's just at Ben's Uncomfortable or Ben's Not Comfortable. Mm-hmm. You should be able to find it. I sent Forrest the link. It's in the description. But yeah, if you want to send me things like anything just related to the show or anything like that, that's all. That's where you can reach me for stuff relating to
Cool.
this thing.
There you go. Now you know that.
If y'all are interested in that. And then do we have any other, like, are there any announcements?
Yeah, but none that need to be made right now. I've got a lot of really cool shit coming up this year, but
I like that if you type tweet in on your phone, it'll still pull up Twitter. I just want to correct. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I looked at it. It's at No Comfort Ben.
No Comfort Ben.
Yeah, because Ben's Uncomfortable was taken.
No Comfort Ben. I'm going to look you up right now.
Yeah, No Comfort Ben. I have no followers, and that's how I like it. But anyway, that's just...
Oh, I see. Yeah, it is at No Comfort Ben, but the title is Ben's Not Comfortable. That's your name on here, is Ben's Not Comfortable.
Oh, well, if they're searching for you, they use the @ right? That's the easy way to find you?
I guess. I don't know.
I haven't used Twitter in a couple years.
I'm following you now. I'm your only follower.
Thank God. That's really the only one I want. Anyway, just if anybody out there ever wants to reach out for any reason, that's where you can do it. And that's it. That's all I have to say.
Awesome. Well, guys, have a good day. And let us know in the comments if you've ever tried a Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich from Whataburger, and more importantly, if you think that the term chicken strip sandwich just sounds inherently just country as fuck, and that like tickles you inside, because it does for me. So let us know in the comments below. It's important.
Nothing tickles inside like a chicken strip sandwich.
Just the phrase chicken strip sandwich. You can't tell that's not the most like country. It's like the word sandwich in itself is kind of.
Have you ever had a biscuit and gravy burrito?
It has a twang. You can't say it without sounding country. A chicken strip sandwich. You know what I mean?
Chicken strip sandwich. I want a chicken...
It sounds like
Excuse me, sir. I would like a chicken strip sandwich.
It sounds like you had to go to Oklahoma to order it.
Chicken strip sandwich. Ah, damn.
You know what I'm saying? So let us know in the comments below what you think about that. And I will see you guys.
I forgot. Go ahead.
I was saying goodbye. So if you have something to say, now's the time to do it.
They'll hear the rambles. Say goodbye. Say goodbye to these people.
All right, goodbye to these people. Is that actually it? Is that what we're ending it?
I just wanted to ruin your ending.
God damn it. Goodbye.
I hate Forrest.